Hello everyone, welcome back to another video. It is a crazy month this month. So we just had a baby girl on June 28th, perfectly healthy. Everything went decently well in the childbirth process. So she's 6 pounds, 11 ounces, all healthy. Mom's doing good, baby's doing good. So we are just now back at home, and both of us are starting. I'm starting paternity leave, and she's starting maternity leave. So I will be off work for about 8 weeks, fully paid, and then my wife should be off work about maybe 14 or 16 weeks, somewhere in there, fully paid. So thankfully, both of us have really good benefits there. But yeah, so that was an exciting event this month. We also got moved into the new house on is probably June 15th and 16th. We made a couple trips and got everything basically moved in, and then just setting up and everything. So I've been off work since about June 21st. So I took 5 days of vacation right before the due date. So she was born right on the due date, June 28th. And yeah, so I've got the house pretty much put together for the most part. I still have some boxes down in the basement that I need to put away. We're fully moved out of house number 4, and yeah, living in house number 8. So the builders came through right on time. There was a few things that we had to kind of like just say, hey, don't worry about that. And they didn't charge us for it. Like, I'll be touching up some of the trim. I'll be touching up a little bit of the paint. Maybe 30 minutes worth of stuff, hanging some towel racks. Easy stuff like that. So we made some compromises just to get us in halfway through the month and give us some time to move and get unpacked and everything. So that's kind of the month of June. That pretty much took up half the month between us moving on the 15th and 16th, unpacking, getting TVs hung up and everything put away, dishes, and then wife went into labor on June 27th, and then baby was born early in the morning on June 28th. So yeah, so we've got our hands full at the moment, but thankfully, neither of us will have to work for the next couple months, so that'll be nice. But for June here, gross income was $19,615. This was a month I made 3 paychecks. Only 2 months of the year does this happen, and so that's why the income is so much higher. So it's like $6,300-ish dollars I think I make every 2 weeks, and so that's where the 19,000 comes from. Taxes were 4,700. I put 3,138 in my 401k. Took home 11,000. And then for my wife, same as the last 3 months for her. It probably will be the same for the next few months as well. So we're really just piling money into retirement accounts. So she is not bringing home anything. So basically, we're living off of $11,760 right now, a month take home pay, it's still pretty good. Rental income, $2,500. Gross income for the month, $27,319. Take home pay, $14,000. So take home pay is the rental income plus this income that I make from my main job. So other than that, I've added a column here, or I guess a goal. And so I always try to compete I'm a competitive person, so I always try to compete with myself. So these are kind of the 3 things that I want my net worth like to surpass. And so this is my lifetime total take home pay. So I've made $962,000 is what I've taken home in my lifetime. So that includes, let's see here. Let me see. So that would include my take-home pay, my wife's take-home pay, rental income, and other income that I made from rental property. So that's 962. Net worth is currently higher than that, so I can check that one off the list. The next one I'm shooting for here is, I guess, total take-home pay. So like even things including my 401k, employee stock purchase plan, HSA. This is all the money that I've made getting rid of taxes, like not including taxes and that. So I've made, well, between my wife and I, $1.27 million. And so we've not quite hit this goal yet here. But then for total gross income, this is just, essentially these 4 categories: my gross income, my wife's gross income, rental income, and other income. And we've made 1.5 million, so I've definitely not hit that yet. But I'm interested to see. I'm always trying to compete with myself. So hopefully over time I can hit this second goal of the 1.2 and then hit the third goal of 1.5. But I have a feeling it's going to take more compounding interest in investment accounts to hit this, because every month I make more money. Like next month, if I were to make the same as I did this month, the goal is going to adjust. So it'd be 1.29 million next month if I made the same as I did this month. So it's always adjusting, always moving, always harder to hit. Yeah, so just kind of fun fact there. Some things that I kind of watched just to keep myself entertained, I guess. But net worth wise, no real changes. We finished the house. We had an appraisal done. And so the appraisal is the 66 acres that the house sits on and the house itself. So the appraisal came in at 1.3 million, which is good. I have it valued at 1.1 million here in the spreadsheet. Um, Truthfully, I think 1.3 million's pretty high. It's on 66 acres, which is where we live is probably $6,000 an acre. So maybe a little bit more than that, but maybe that's 400,000 for the land, and then the house is maybe 6,500, maybe 7,000 square feet, somewhere between there. The basement's about 2,200, the mid level's about 2,200, and then the upstairs is uh, it's maybe 2,500, 2,700. There's a giant area over the garage, a three-car garage. So, yeah, we definitely built the house that we wanted to build. We didn't really skimp that much, I would say, but my wife and I aren't people that like get super extravagant and super expensive on stuff. We really try to find the value in things. If there was something that was like extremely luxury. Like we don't have anything extremely luxury, but we also didn't buy the cheapest material to build our house either. So I feel like we did pretty well. The appraisal came in at 1.3, and we were all in at 1.1 million. Well, it should actually be, sorry, it should be these two here, land 8 and house 8. So it cost us 1.14 million to do everything. So we made about 150,000, but I'm not going to include that here. The main reason is I am. We are probably exceeding the market, I would say, in our area. The average house in the town that we live in is probably maybe 350,000 right now would be a normal house. So there's not a whole lot of people that can probably afford like a $1.3 million house. So if we did sell the house and this land, it would be up for sale for a very long time. Just there's just not very many people that would be interested in something like that. So that's why I'm not going to value it at 1.3. I'm just going to keep it for what we paid for it, which is about 1.15 million between the two. That being said, we will never sell house number 8, land number 8 ever. My parents live to the north. They have 68 acres. We're just to the south of them and have 66 acres. So I kind of get access to like 136-ish acres, 134 acres for the price of 66 acres, which is really nice. And they're close, but they're not super close, and we're close to my wife's parents, and it's a pretty good spot. So yeah, we're definitely going to be happy here, and we'll never be interested in selling either of these. So we'll be hanging out here for the next 70 years probably. So investment wise, though, had a really good month. The market recovered pretty substantially. I don't know if we're back. I don't think we're technically back to where we were in December 2021, but we're still making up some progress. So HSA went up about $3,000 to 50,600. My 401k went up about 12,000, so $172,000 now. My wife's 403b and 457b accounts are up about 15,000, so they did phenomenally. A lot of that too is the contribution. I mean, she's throwing in $4,000 a month into hers. So yeah, she's at 153,000, and we always kind of compete a little bit there too. So I'm always, it seems like, just a little bit ahead of her retirement, but not very much. She is able to contribute a whole lot more to her retirement than I can in mine, and so eventually I think she will pass me, but we'll see when that happens too. Debt wise, this is now the big topic for us. This is probably the next goal, to be honest. The housing. So goal number one for me and I guess overall goal like for my life is like currently I work in pharmaceuticals. I'm a like mid to senior level employee at a ginormous pharmaceutical company. I make very good money, probably 250-ish thousand to 300,000 depending on bonuses for the year. um, that being said, I'm fine to go to work every day. I like to be productive. Is my passion pharmaceuticals? No, it is not. I work in the pharmaceutical industry because it pays really well, to be honest, and that's honestly about the only reason. It is a good purpose. Like we're able to make medicine for people who need the medicine, but I am mostly passionate about real estate, I would say, over pharmaceuticals. However, with two rental properties, house number 5 and house number 7, that still have mortgages on them, I maybe profit 1,000 a month. My wife and I can't live off 1,000 a month, and we're not structured in a way right now where we can even touch any of these retirement accounts. So, goal number one for me is to build a rental property portfolio that would make enough for us to basically pay all of our expenses. So that would probably be between 8 to 10 houses, maybe $8,000 a month, and I would probably leave my main job and just do real estate full time after that. We are quite a ways away from that. So for the time being, I'm continuing to work. But if a house comes up that is that 15%, I'll switch over here. If it's that 15% cash on cash return number that I'm looking for, I will 100% buy it and just get a mortgage on it and pay off the mortgage or do whatever with it. Um, Recently, for the past 2 years, I have hardly been able to find houses at a 10% cash on cash return. The market is just extremely high. So, house number 7 that I purchased here a few years ago, I bought this for 120,000. This house is probably now worth like 200,000. And again, this is not the actual house; it's just a very similar house to what that house number 7 actually looks like. But yeah, this house would now be like 200,000. And then when you change this to 200,000, not 2 million. There we go, 200,000. And then now change interest rates to like 8.5% on a investment property. So now cash on cash return for this exact same house, assuming everything else is the exact same, is negative 18%. So basically, my cash flow would be minus 600-ish dollars a month. So I would have to pay for the tenant to live there. So things have just, I mean, changed substantially in the past few years, and I'm like, the reason I want 15% cash on cash return is I feel like if I can make 10 to 12% in stocks and just click a button and do nothing. With rental properties, I physically have to do stuff. I have to go mow, I have to take care of the house, the roof, the maintenance, I have to deal with the tenants, send invoices, all that stuff. I at least want to make more than 12%. Like if I'm going to do all that work, then I need to at least make more than 12%. So that being said, there's just no houses in my area right now. I look at every single one that pops up. I can't even find 10% cash on cash returns right now. So that is goal number one, is just to keep buying real estate. So I always have a backup plan. So if goal number one is not able to be completed, I'm not just going to pile up money for 10 years and keep looking at houses and have, let's say, $1 million in cash just sitting there. So plan number two, start paying down some of this debt. So this will be the highest that I ever am in debt in my lifetime. I'll say that now. We won't buy any more cars. We're not going to go into student loans or credit card debts. All of these are on houses, and this will be the pinnacle. The most debt that my wife and I will have in our lifetime. I can pretty safely say that. Okay, thing number one is I will be selling house number 4 here in about 3 months. We have had no offers on our house right now. It's listed at 415,000. I have it valued at 356 here in the spreadsheet. I have a guaranteed buyout from my employer at $395,000, and I do not have to pay closing costs. I do not have to pay realtor fees. So it should be 395 minus 223 here, 168,000 roughly dollars. I should be able to take home. But that will not be until September 15th. So at the end of September, I should be able to get rid of that. When I get rid of that, I will lose $223,000 of debt. And so that should even, well, that won't even push me under $1 million. Right now, we're $1.3 million in debt almost, which is absurd. And it freaks me out a little bit. So just for the reference, house number 4's payment is like $1,500 a month with taxes and insurance. House number 5's payment's like $750 a month with taxes and insurance. House number 7's payments like $830 a month with taxes and insurance. Land number 8's payment, it went down. It was 2,500. It's 1,500 now, 1,591 a month, and there's no taxes are not included in that. And then house number 8, the payment is $3,800 a month. And so in between these 5 payments, I'll try to do some quick math. So 3,800 plus 1,500 plus 750 plus 830 plus 1,591. We pay $8,471 a month in mortgages right now. So we're 100% feeling the weight of that. So right now I'm bringing in around 11,000 a month, even maxing everything out. So we're still able to, we're basically break even right now. So we're bringing in maybe 11,000. So if we subtract these out, yeah, so we have $2,529. That has to pay for all utilities, groceries, taxes on some stuff, gas for me to drive 2 hours a day. And so at the end of the month, like we're basically break even every month right now. I'm not, I mean, it's concerning to me. That's probably the first time in my life I've been in a situation like that. But it's not concerning to me knowing that in 3 months I'll be able to get rid of house number 4 and then have $168,000 roughly coming in. So that'll get rid of that payment. I'll have a huge influx of cash. So my cash should be at 200-ish thousand in September. And then I will use that cash to pay down house number 8. And then my plan is to do a re-amortization of house number 8. And so essentially what that is if you make a large one-time lump sum payment, you can re-amortize your loan, meaning like you can like basically lower the payment. You don't have to pay any fees to do this. You just call the bank up and say, hey, I'm going to put $200,000 on my loan. My current payment's $3,800. If I put $200,000 down, what will my new payment be? Probably like $2,500-ish dollars. So and that's it. And your interest rate doesn't change. Your loan terms don't change. It's still, if you're halfway into your 30-year mortgage and you do this, it's you're still halfway in. You're not restarting your loan or anything to do that. They're just recalculating your loan. If you chose not to do that and you put $200,000 towards your mortgage, then what you'll still pay for me $3,800 a month. But then what will happen is you'll be forced to pay that higher payment, and more of your payment will go to principal. And so you'll pay the house off faster that way instead of paying it off in 30 years. So you're kind of, if you don't reamortize, it forces you to pay off your house faster. For us, I think we're going to reamortize because our goal anyway will be to pay off house number 8 as fast as we possibly can, hopefully within the next 3 to 4 years. And yeah, and so we're just going to lower the payment and we'll still make extra payments towards the mortgage. So yeah, so that's kind of the game plan. But for now, we're fully locked in. So this is no longer a construction loan. It's a 30-year fixed rate at 5.25%, and all of these are like 3-something%. So we're probably gonna do. Well, I was contemplating, should I follow like Dave Ramsey's advice and pay off the lowest interest rate first, or sorry, the smallest debt first. So that would be house number 7. It's at 3.375%. Like I don't think, like, that's extremely low to me. And right now interest or inflation is like 5-6%. So I make money every year for having that low of an interest rate. I don't think I'm going to pay off the 3% ones as fast as I can. I think I'm going to do what's called the debt avalanche instead of the debt snowball. So basically, I'll pay off the highest interest rate debt first, and for me, it happens to be the largest balance is the highest interest debt. So it's going to take us 3 to 4 or 5 years to pay this off, but once we do, we'll have, I mean, 3,000 something dollars, maybe $2,500 a month extra to put towards everything else. So that's going to be kind of the game plan going forward. So I'll probably be keeping my cash around 30,000. We've calculated about 6 months expenses, maybe 3 to 6 months expenses. I just said it was like $8,000, $10,000 a month roughly. But when we lose house number 4, it should be around 8,000 a month for everything. And so we'll probably keep our checkings around 30,000, and then just keep our rental checkings like building up higher and higher and higher. So that's kind of how the next, like, I probably 3 to 5 years are going to look. We'll keep this at 30, and then just keep paying off house number 8 as fast as we possibly can. So, but speaking of cash, checkings account is, we're down a little bit this month, just from moving expenses. We also had to pay some hospital stuff as well. So we're down to 44,941. And then rental checkings account had a pretty good month, no major repairs or anything, so it's up almost $1,000 to 16,994. So we've got about 62,000 in cash right now, and that brings our net worth up about almost 20,000 compared to last month, about 18,000. So we're at $1,113,038, and currently 29 years old, both of us. Yeah, so we're just cruising on. It's interesting though. This is the 11th $100,000 that we have saved up, and this 100,000 took us 6 months to save, where the first 100,000 took us 4 years to save up that one. So it's always interesting to me how much faster that it gets, the further and further that you go along. So yep, that is really it for June. The only thing I didn't mention, our goal pace. So our goal now is to have $4 million by 40 years old. So we're 11 years away from being 40 years old, but we are $265,816 ahead of our goal pace of having 4 million by 40. And net worth is sitting at $1,111,000, about $18,000 higher than last month. So pretty good month for us. It seems like the stock market is really cooperating a lot better this year than what it did last year. So that's good to see. But again, I don't know what it's going to do going forward. So we're just going to continue to max out 401ks, 403bs, all those retirement accounts, try to get our taxable income as low as we possibly can, get house number 4 sold, get house number 8 paid down, and start buying rental properties again. But that's going to be a few years. So thank you all for tuning into the video. Be sure to like, comment, subscribe. Last month's and next month's videos are on the screen now. And as always, if you have any questions, comments, things that you'd like to see me include in future videos, just comment them down below. Thanks everybody, and we will see you in the next video.